So here is again, we are talking about importing the Excel file into R. So it's really easy to import. So you can also fix a directory and then you can write read.csv command. Read.csv is the command to import the files from the Excel into R. Prior than that, you are required to save your Excel files into .csv format. Okay. So there is another way which I'm talking you about. So if there is some file, let me show you. If it is a Excel file, see, if it is a Excel file, you can also save it in another format. See that how can we save it as, save as, okay? So you have to save it in another format in some folder, and you can choose the save as type. You can see the save as type. So the Excel workbook. Excel workbook, you can go in the format and choose CSV comma delimited format. Okay. So now this file will be converted into .csv file. Okay. So now if you are going to open your book, means open your file in Rstudio, then how can you go or find out? Okay. So I have taught you in the last class that how can you choose a directory. I'm talking about how to choose the directory. The one way to import the file is to import the file from the import data set and choose Excel file or the SPSS file or any of the softwares which are given to you. And another way is that you are going to choose a work directory, that is session set work directory as choose directory. Okay. Choose directory, and then you are going to, I have saved in the desktop, so I have choose this directory. Okay, so I haven't saved it in any folder. By now it's going to give you some folder, so it means that I need to locate it into some folder also. So going on my laptop or going on my desktop, I have keep this file into in some folder. Okay, coming back towards you. If you are going to setting up the work directory as your desktop, now I'm choosing the given folder, and you can see that there is a command which has been run into your console is this. Okay, so you can also use instead of this, by selecting the session and going into the set work directory and choose directory, you can also use this. The command is setwd, and then you can give the location from your laptop. Okay. If you're going to use the location file from your laptop, you can clearly only need to copy it paste. Okay. So if I'm going to show you that this is the file options, and we are going to use some copying paste of the files. Okay. So if you want to copy or paste it, you can use the location. Just a minute, please. You can use the location from your file explorer, and it is something like that. If you're going to open some file like this file, okay? So you need to just copy and paste this path, okay? There is some certain path and you can copy and paste this, okay? See this, if you have been selected this file, you can just copy and paste this path, okay? If I just copy and paste this path from my file explorer to the Rstudio, I can also choose the directory and open up my files, okay? So keep replying me because in the last class there is some issue that we haven't recorded properly. So if you are
Okay,
again,
madam.
okay, if you are again going to the Rstudio, then you can open up in the same location, okay, which you can copy paste from the file explorer, okay. So there are multiple ways to open up the files. So there is the file location. Now you can go to open up the certain file and you need to write that. If I write data is the name of the that file. I'm going to write the name, or instead of data I can write Sidra, or I can write Kenny, or any data. Um, the for example, it's a air quality data, so I can name any type of the data. So if you're going to go with read.csv command, it is for reading the files which are saved as .csv files. So there is some error that its file is not found. Okay. So, but you can try from these kind also. You can try for these files. I do not have many files in my laptop, so I can show you right now. But it is a very convenient way. Okay. So once you have find out the data, like I have tracked the data of here, that it is the data of the same data of the file. If you want to find out that what are the variables of the data, the command which you are going to use is str. So str command will show you the variables from this file. So this is not very organized file, but you can see the variables that there are 315 observations, 315 observations, and the maximum and the minimum of the variable, the average variable, and other variables. So you can also notice that there is written num. It means that the data is numeric. And further on going, there is some data which is a character variable, CHR, the character variable which we have learned in the last class. And if you have gone through with the PDF, you are also gone through with this character variable and the logical variable attaining with true or false and so on. Okay. So there is some variables which you can find by that, whether these are string variables or the nominal variables or any other variables. So going back to our lecture, we are going to the basics of the R studios. After importing our files or reading of the data by the str command, like that whether the data is numeric or the or nominal or character variable or the logical variables, we are going to find out that how to tidy up the data, how to check out the data. Okay. So it's a data frame which is very organized, and it has been written that there are some color, taste, weight, and the size of the variable, the eaten variable. I've already discussed you about the logical variable, that is the eaten variable. The color and the taste are the character variable, and the weight and the size are the numeric variable. So there are some variables which are some levels. Say you the social status, the high status, the middle status, or the low status. So these are the levels of the status. So in this file, we are going to discuss that are the you cannot see the screen of the RStudio Basics. Okay. So there are some variables which are logical, numeric, and the character variable. Like color and taste are the character variable, weight and size are the numeric, and eaten variable is the logical variable. That is something like yes or no, or the binary variable, or the dichotomous variables. Okay. So it's going to cover in the logical variable in the in RStudio, and in this file we have already learned it about. Okay. So I've told you that how can the read.csv work, how can you save the file from .csv pattern. And now if you are going to write about your data set, or learning about the variables, you can go how to tidy up your data. It means that how can you clean up your data. So clean up your data is just is first of all you need to see that how your data has been written. So if you are going to run that command str data, these are the results which are given to you, that is factor with 5 levels. Which are these 5 levels? The blue, green, and the other 5 colors. So you can see that it's very much important how to organize your data or how to enter your data. I have shown up your file with a mess, okay? So there is no organization in the data. Moreover, there is no factor variables, but it is not necessary that your file must attain the factor variables. But if you have some factor variables, there must be some sequence in the file, some some special way, some a particular way to save up your file. Okay. There is not your diary or your manual thing that you just need to enter the data in any way. No, it's not like that. Okay. So it categorize you like that, the factor variable with the 5 variables, and the taste is the 3 levels. Like the 3 variables are the salty, sour, or maybe it's sweet variable. You can read it from the prior page of this document. Weight, size, and the eaten variable. Okay. The first and second variable are the categories of the factors, and the third variable is the numeric variable. The fourth is the true or false. Okay. So you are already know about it. Now moving towards the next page. Okay, so there is something which is written that before extracting the Excel file, you just need to incorporate your data into the same uppercase or the lower case of the letters. Okay, because R cannot read the mix up of the variable names, like it can learn only the lowercase letters or the capital case letters. So if you are going to save up your file in an organized manner in the Excel way, you are going just to open up your file. But if you want to convert it in the R document, you can use the command to upper. It means that it will change your variables into the upper letters, and there or you can go with the two lower. Okay, so it will automatically change all the levels or the categories into the lower case, because it's necessary. R cannot read the two variables. It will read the green, capital green separately and small green separately. There, it will become the two separate green for the RStudio. So you need to organize your data first. That's why we are going to learn about that. How can you tidy your data? Otherwise it will going to read separately or skipping up the variables. Okay, so a data analyst must know, or the data scientist must know, that how the data is going to be entered, how to clean up your data, how to organize your data. So it will be able, or it will be organized, that R is able to read your data. Otherwise R is not going to read your data properly. I've shown up your example in the file which I have opened up in my laptop. Okay. So there is a
Yes,
factor variable if you want to convert back the factor into the levels, or the determining new levels. Agar aapko और, if you want some more variables, then you can go with the command factor. Okay. So there are some written that how can you organize your levels, or you can organize the different pattern of the variables. So it has been written more and more that R has interrupted a string of text as factors. So if it is interrupted the string of text as factors, you can use the command as dot character to convert a factor into a text or character. Okay. So if it's going to read the command with the factor variable, you are going to convert it with the command, the text or the character. So the command will be as dot character. So if you want to write the food reviews like good, great, or food was okay, or the excellent, you need to write as dot character command. Okay. Otherwise, it is going to be learned in RStudio as levels. Okay. So the food reviews priorly, it has been taken as levels in the RStudio, but when we write as dot character command, it is going to be taken as the character variable. So in more detail, you can also learn that what are the levels and what are the character variables from the same file. R has interrupted the numeric data as factors. Agar R, if R has find out that there is the numeric data, but you are going to consider it as factor data, then you can use the command as dot numeric. Basically, it is discussing about that how can you convert the factor variables into the numeric variables and the numeric variables into the factor variables, whether you are required to do so or R is interrupting to do so. Okay, R is misinterpreting the data, misunderstanding the data. Then we can use certain commands like as dot numeric, as dot characters, and so on. So if there are some numbers, like the numbers has been written in this, and but the str command or the R is going to give us in the levels like 12.4, 12.43. These are the sequence. The 12.4 is the smallest variable, 124.3 is greater than 12.4, and so on. So it's going to give the R